So which one do you want? Which man you want to talk about first? The Ant-Man or the third one?
Do I give you this now
Later.
or at the end?
Later.
Oh.
So which one do you want to talk about? Third Man or Ant-Man?
We saw both.
Yeah. Greatest double feature since SpongeBob and 50 Shades.
That's a weird feature.
With this one, there was a good contrast between the more serious, more symbolic, less
And then
obvious.
you have the third man.
Let's do Third Man first, because you were so excited when I told you I was playing in Pasadena.
Yes. Earlier today, we saw Third Man, which is a simple story about a man named Scott Lang who gets out of prison and meets Hank Pym, the designer.
Played by magically transforming Kirk Douglas.
Yes. You say Kirk Douglas?
Hey, it had a pretty significant cameo from a known black actor.
Hank Pym, played by Orson Welles, and Scott Lang, played by Joseph Cotton. You really get a nice
Shadows.
a nice feel.
Yeah.
A nice feel for it. Later, we saw Ant-Man, which is a riveting film noir, starring Paul Rudd as Holly Martin's. I can't keep up this shit. It's so exhausting.
I have no idea where you're going with this anymore. But
They're fun. They're like, obviously.
Third Man, well, of course, I know that's a better movie than Ant-Man.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a reason they showed it 50 years later.
And made a 4K restoration.
Yeah. 4K. I had to say that to the camera.
It looked really clean.
Yeah. None of those film bubbles that you use.
Yeah.
That's good.
And man, the one thing, if there's anything I love about Third Man, is how it plays with shadows so well.
I like that. And then, like, upon rewatching it, the first half can, like, closer to the end of the first half, it can get kind of slow because it's more
setting up everything.
Yeah, everything's being set up. But really, once you see Orson Welles, like I said when we were leaving, like I still get goosebumps when the light shines on Orson Welles for the first time.
I love how
he's there, but
like he fits the description. Everyone's talking about him, but he still feels like so ambiguous of a character.
Yeah.
And like, and even the end, like you still can't tell like if he's a good or a bad guy.
Yeah. And it's very. I mean, it's a sad movie. Like once you get to the point where Joseph Cotton realizes that he's gonna have to take him in or kill him.
Yeah.
Or kill him for that reason. It's sad.
And it's like I love with the score and like the first half, like it's setting up how foreign the whole movie.
Yeah.
It makes you feel so unsettled because you have no idea what you're being told, where you are. And like when you bring in the whole morality thing with Harry Lime, there's that too.
Just like it's such a weird world.
Yeah.
And
as an extension of like the time period.
Yeah.
We said in.
It's such a weird world that like the music and like the constant Dutch angles.
Yeah.
It constantly feels just something's not right.
Gosh, we are film majors now.
Well, I think the morality.
Yes, I think it's an extension of like the politics going on during the World War II area, where no one's either no one's really your ally, but no one's really your enemy either.
Exactly.
Until you really get to know them.
We need like a third. We need a third man in here just to interrupt us.
Yeah, but Jamie had to go back to work.
Damn it, Jamie.
Yeah. I love how Justin Cotton played like the most stoof of an American, like, because I like to think he's the actual third man in terms of like this, because he's intervening between Harry Lime and what's the love interest again?
Like Anna something.
Yeah, Anna Schmidt. Yeah. And he's like the third man, so he's intervening and kind of messing up that whole dynamic.
Or he's the third man in between the racketeering that Orson Welles is doing and then the police
investigation.
Yeah. Not Callahan, Calloway. He's not Irish. He's an Englishman. Third Man, 50 years later.
So good.
Still recommend.
But Ant-Man, that was a lot of fun.
Ant-Man is moving on to Ant-Man. Ant-Man's fun.
Yeah, a lot of fun. Well, it was a lot more fun than Avengers, I think.
Which Avengers?
2, of course.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I wouldn't say it's as good as Guardians, but it does play a much more central part.
Okay. Because I would say, like, I think Ant-Man closes off Phase 2. I think what we saw in Phase 2 was, like, superhero versions of certain genres.
Yeah.
So this, like, we obviously heard it's the heist movie.
It's the heist movie.
It's a superhero version of a heist movie. And
Cap 2 was a espionage thriller.
yeah.
Iron Man 3 was kind of a detective story.
Yeah.
Like half of it.
Yeah. What would I, like, oh, I called Iron Man 3 like a superhero version of James Bond.
Yeah.
And then I would call Guardians
Like space opera.
Yeah, the space opera superhero.
Thor 2, nothing.
And Thor 2 gets shit. Because Thor 2 is a piece of shit.
It's just like this. This is the most generic thing you can come up with.
It's so boring. Same thing with Thor 1
Yeah.
and Iron Man 2.
I still love on that honest trailer for Iron Man that they're listing out the whole formula for a Marvel movie, and Thor's always in the middle except twice, and one of those times is Thor 2.
Just watching it, you feel exhausted.
Yeah.
Like if
You're getting fed so much information, but like you're not getting a sense of like what it means.
I think if I showed you bits of Thor, just not the whole movie, just bits,
Yeah.
I would see the physical exhaustion on your face. Just not this again.
Yeah.
I don't want this.
I was like that with the trailer before the movie, even the first one came out, because I remember thinking that's gonna bomb.
It's pretty bad.
Anyway, Batman.
Yeah. When the movie was over, I told you it felt a lot like Iron Man 1.
Yeah, especially the first half.
Yeah. I mean, like the except for the heist part,
Yeah.
the whole there's a whole new suit, and there's a company that wants to sell the suit and monetize the suit. That's gonna happen.
And
Happen in Iron Man.
And you have this older character who is inspiring this younger character
Yeah.
to not waste his life.
And now,
And you have the sassy assistant who
yeah,
kind of likes him, but also kind of like hates him.
yeah, and Paul Rudd has like almost the same snark as Robert Downey Jr.
He's more likable, I think.
Yeah, I think he's like the puppy boy
Yeah.
version of Tony Stark.
I'm still wondering who else would they could have found outside since like Chris Pratt and Paul Rudd. Who else can they get to be like the new Marvel superhero? That's this random comedic actor who has no expectations to be an action hero in any way.
Glenn Howerton from It's Always Sunny was supposed to be Star-Lord.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I think if they I don't remember the history, so I don't want to get it wrong.
Okay.
But it was like him or Chris Pratt.
Okay.
I think the same thing went for Jurassic World too.
Yeah.
It was either gonna be Chris Pratt or Glenn Howerton.
Oh man, it's gotta burn.
Yeah. So
Fucking burn.
Glenn Howerton, he has his stuff coming. It's gonna happen.
Michael Douglas. I thought like out of a lot of like these big like veteran actors, he's been in all these movies like Anthony Hopkins, Robert Redford, Jeff Bridges. He's probably the best out of all of them. Like he eats this stuff, like this comic book stuff up. Like
Who did you list before?
it was like Jeff Bridges, Anthony Hopkins, who he doesn't like being in the Thor movies.
No, Anthony Hopkins is so phoning it in.
Especially in 2.
I'll just let the beard and the eye patch do the work.
Who else has been in these movies? Hugo Weaving. I wouldn't call him phoning it in. He's probably one of the better villains in the movies.
Yeah.
Who else is there? Not Sam Jackson. He's all in.
He's fairly young.
Yeah. But he's probably out of these.
Robert Redford.
Yeah. He's pretty good.
I like Robert Redford in the second Cap.
Yeah.
He was good. I would probably put Robert Redford on my list of like best veteran actors who's been in the cinematic universe, but Michael Douglas was still pretty good.
Yeah, he says the words like quantum realm like with a straight face.
Yeah.
In any movie that can do that.
He plays a good mentor.
Yeah. And like the de-aging in the beginning, that's actually really good.
Yeah.
It was a little weird how like he never blinked.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
I noticed
That's
that
kinda
like
weird.
nearly the end, but like overall, that looks really good.
Yeah.
It's a little too clean, but we've gone a long way since like Tron Legacy in
Yeah.
terms of making old actors look
yeah,
good.
yeah. I mean, we saw Genesis
Yeah,
last.
2 weeks ago.
Is that really 2 weeks ago? Wow. It felt like a month ago.
It's summertime.
But they did the whole in Terminator, the whole recreation of the
Yeah.
1980s. I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah,
I thought that was done pretty well, even though it wasn't a good
Yeah.
movie.
what else was I thinking? Corey Stoll is also probably one of the better villains these movies have.
I liked. Like, I think of Corey Stoll and I just think, oh, that guy's kind of bland.
Yeah,
I kind of remember him from House of Cards, even though he was like the best plot of House of Cards.
yeah,
But yeah, I agree with you.
yeah. Like
He's a pretty good villain.
when I was because I understand his motivations. He's a little whiny, but I
Yeah.
get it. He did like he was pretty close to accomplishing things. Like he killed a lot of people in pretty gnarly ways, in pretty horrific ways. Like he just turned the guy into like putty.
Yeah, like he did something. Like I'm obviously the probably like modulated his voice when he was in the Yellow Jacket
Yeah.
suit, but that was like actually
Yeah.
that was like a good supervillain.
Like out of all of these movies, I think the only other good villain would be like Red Skull.
Yeah. Although, yeah, because like there's
Loki,
only
I mean-
so many, big bads.
Yeah,
Like I still come to bat for Robert Redford, even though he's just kind of the face of
yeah. So
Hydra
yeah.
in Second Cap, which kind of you get this in this one too.
yeah. Well, they threw that in sort of out of nowhere.
Hydra.
Oh, they should have done that thing when, like, every time he kept tapping on like someone's shoulder. Should have been like that. Because every time, like, they established that very early. They're like, if he taps you on the shoulder, you are dead. You're just like, he pets the lamb. That lamb is dead.
the shoulder touch. Oh no! Don't touch my shoulder.
Oh, God, no, Corey, no. Get out of the way. I'm surprised. I'm surprised we've gone this far talking about Ant-Man without talking about the Edgar Wright of it all.
Oh yeah, because we talked about this over dinner.
Yeah.
Over ArcLight dinner.
Yeah. Like I think a lot of the stuff is a lot of Edgar Wright stuff is there,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like if he directed it, actually did direct it, it probably would have been a better movie, but it wouldn't have fit as well into the Marvel brand as it did.
Yeah, I think it would have definitely been definitely more of a Edgar Wright movie rather than another piece
Yeah.
in the cinematic.
Because we just saw Scott Pilgrim like on Monday,
Uh-huh.
and that
Yeah,
was
yeah.
amazing. And if you gave Edgar Wright that kind like a Marvel budget, and like you didn't like sort of fiddle like mess with interfere with him the same way that that Marvel did with James Gunn, I think,
Mm-hmm.
then I think you could have had like a knockout of a movie.
Like I'm trying to think of Marvel movies that were directed by someone who like actually like has some kind of style to them.
Yeah,
Like you definitely have Whedon,
yeah.
and his style kind of shows up in
Just in terms of dialogue stuff.
and like in just storytelling.
Yeah.
Like, I don't find him like that interesting as a visual director.
I think I read an article about like a second look at Avengers 2, and there's basically like he introduced there are like two modes of storytelling in that movie. It's either big action scene where everyone's snarking, or
Mhm.
like deep dialogue scenes.
Yeah. I think Whedon does that the best, and Iron Man 3, because that's written and directed
By Shane
by
Black.
Shane Black, and there's
Well-
like bits of Shane Black and everything, like there's
The
a
Christmas stuff,
little, the Christmas and a little too much quirk,
but
but I like it.
with Robert Downey Jr. that was perfect. I thought.
Quirk and into like the buddy cop
Yeah.
at the end. I think those two are really the only kind of tours.
Yeah.
There's that film major stuff
Yeah.
again.
James Gunn, like I don't know, like I can't tell exactly. I can tell like he has like tropes, but he hasn't developed a specific style. I think.
Yeah,
Alan Taylor, he's just at this point a work for hire.
Yeah, I was kind
Unfortunately.
of disappointed at Terminator Genesis, which he also directed.
Russo brothers, I think they're the best at adopting the Joss Whedon style right now.
Yeah, they kind of have their own thing with like the quick cam and the
Yeah.
good close-ups and
But the action
stuff.
in Cap 2 is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And the action here in Ant-Man is also very good.
Yeah.
I think part of that's like the Edgar Wright stuff because like the way they put in a lot of visual jokes.
Oh yeah. Like there are definitely the whole stuff with Michael Pena,
Yeah.
given the whole voiceover, that felt very Edgar Wright to me.
Yeah.
He does get story credit, so
Yeah. Though like parts of it are very much the improvised kind of thing. Like all of
Yeah.
Michael Pena stuff.
I
Almost.
think because Paul Rudd's also credited.
Yeah.
I feel like he did some improv,
Yeah.
which
Absolutely.
they gave him credit because we saw Inside Out
Hmm.
earlier. Was it earlier this month or was it last month?
About a month ago
Okay.
now.
About a month ago, we saw Inside Out, and Amy Poehler's credited
Yeah.
for stuff, so she improvised some stuff.
Yeah.
So, yay, SNL people or NBC comedy people.
Well, we got a very significant like cameo from a prominent black actor. Garrett Morris from the first 5 seasons of SNL. He's in the movie.
Who?
Garrett Morris, the black guy, the old black guy from Two Broke Girls. Remember, he like first time he tried in the suit, he landed on some black guy's car. That was him.
I don't watch Two.
Yeah. Did you watch old SNL?
What's the difference from old SNL?
Like the first 5 years.
I watched some.
Okay. Well, he was the first black. He was like the first black actor on the show. Period. On the series. Period.
Huh. The weird things you learn after watching Ant-Man.
Like all like the shrinking stuff. All of that's cool.
Oh yeah.
And I think Edgar Wright deserves a lot of credit for nailing how to connect the different backstories of Pym and Scott Lang,
Yeah.
the comic book storylines into something that fits in the MCU.
There were like I think the getting those storylines together was a good idea.
Yeah.
The way they did it at sometimes, like there's the scene where Lost Girl and Paul Rudd are in the car, and then they get back from the car,
And he just explains the
and
whole.
Hank Pym's just on the mantle saying,
So this is
"Your
how
mom
you.
didn't die in an airplane crash." Just, where is this coming from? Whoa!
And I love how she explains, "Why didn't you tell me this sooner?"
Yeah.
It's like I was trying to protect you.
What's happening?
Yeah.
You really feel like Paul Rudd at the end, where he breaks the whole
It's
moment
great,
and just.
guys.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Good.
Yeah, he gets it. He gets me.
That whole climax is great. I think that climax is pure Edgar Wright. Just a big action sequence done in sort of a comedic way. Just
Yeah.
like a bunch of weird gags all
Yeah,
over the
yeah.
place. I want to know how much they spent on that giant Thomas the Tank.
I'm telling you, they pay for that by sponsoring
Baskin
from Baskin Robbins.
That was a strange running joke they had. Baskin
Yeah.
Robbins, they'll find you.
Yeah, we'll always find about you at Baskin Robbins. But I liked Ant-Man.
I
I'll
liked
see
it.
Ant-Man 2. It's not like we can't. These movies control our lives.
He's gonna be back anyway.
He will be back. But
I'm trying to figure out what the whole thing at the end with because I guess that's just a scene from straight out of Civil War.
I don't think that is.
I'm pretty sure.
I think that's just now Ant-Man is going to be a part of this bigger world.
Okay.
Which I kind of hope isn't the case, but if it is the case,
Yeah.
I don't want it to be, because we had the whole movie about the Winter Soldier,
Yeah.
and then they just caught the Winter Soldier. Spoilers. They just caught the Winter Soldier.
I like that he's just sitting in some warehouse.
Yeah, he's just sitting there. He's not like in his garb. He's just like regular Joe Schmo kind of.
No, because like the way they're saying like we can't get Tony or anything.
Yeah.
Because I'm guessing like that could be like in the middle of the movie or something, like some kind of near the end of the first act. Or
Oh,
something.
maybe. It would just be. It would feel really weird to have a whole movie where you had the Winter Soldier and then you catch him off screen.
Well, now it's been 3 movies. It's been 2 movies since Captain America 2, so I think that'd be fine. It would be 2 years since, so it's okay.
Civil War better fucking deliver and not be convoluted bullshit.
Yeah. I don't know. I think they know what they're doing.
I don't know. Did you see Thor? Did you see Thor 2? Did you see Iron Man 2? There's some questionable things at work.
I prefer Iron Man 2 to Thor. Well, no. Because I remember, like, now I think about Iron Man 2, I was pretty bored, too.
Yeah.
Have you seen the honest trailers for that one, too?
No.
It's like a 2-hour movie. There's only about 20 minutes of Iron Man action. Like, they counted, it's only, okay, the fight at Monaco, the fight in his house with Rhodey.
Oh, yeah.
And then the whole climax.
And the whole end.
That's only about 23 minutes.
Oh my god. That's why the movie's so fucking boring.
Okay, I think that's about all we have for tonight.
Yes.
Thanks for watching.